Well, the fight against the controversial Gold Coast view tax is intensifying this morning, with more than 200 residents gearing up to take to the streets this morning in a show of defiance. The levy sees rates for high-rise residents increase by up to 50% based on the floor they live on. But fired-up locals have made it clear they won't back down until the tax is scrapped. One of those locals is Chris Griffith, and he joins us live on the Gold Coast. Chris, you're going to be joining the march this morning. What are you hoping to achieve?
Good morning, Nat. I'm here with these magnificent Gold Coasters who got up at 5 or earlier this morning to come down here for this, which shows their passion and commitment to opposing the view tax. Today is the day that Council meets to look at its budget. This may or may not be discussed at today, but we want to show that there is continued ongoing a real sense of anger around this view tax, mostly because of how big it can be, like up to 50% of your rates in a year, but also because there's been a big breach of trust here. The council had an election, didn't tell anyone about their intentions of this. They had a secret meeting. They didn't tell people about it until they actually got their rates noticed. So I think that's added a lot to the anger, that they just don't feel they can trust the council.
Yeah.
So the march is at 10 o'clock. And we're encouraging people to come down to the Esplanade and Elkhorn Avenue at 10 and join in, and that will go to the council chamber building.
Look, it's a massive hike. It doesn't matter what the view is. A lot of retirees have bought these apartments. From the council's point of view, they say they're not going to change their mind. The change will only affect 4% of the population and save money for 96% of the population. What do you say to that?
Well, I think that is an incredibly sad argument. You're kind of saying we can take money from a group of people, a lot of whom, as you point out, are pensioners, retirees, not very wealthy people on fixed incomes, and we then spread it across to save that 96%. But if you spread it to 100%, it would actually be just a very small rates increase. The fact they've put it onto 4% is pretty disgusting, really. And that's part of the reason why we're continuing to protest. Now, this issue is not going to go away, because every 3 months people get their rates billed. They get this continual reminder of the extra money they're paying. So it won't go in the background. We're hoping soon to talk to the state government about legislation around this, because this is really a workaround of state government law that doesn't allow them to rate basically on property. So there is a legalistics around it that we want to take up with the state, because state government here has been very reticent to make any changes to the law to allow this sort of rating process in the past.
Yeah, and as a lot of people say, half the time you're not looking out over the beach. Just because you're above floor 5, you might be looking at someone's wall. Look, I can see you've got feisty people behind you. Keep us up to date on what happens. Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you.